Hello, we are Wilderspace Gaming, and this is our Blades in the Dark game, which is still lacking a proper title. We're still yet to come up with a title for our crew, but we're
This
short.
is the session.
This is
the
the,
session
you
where
ready
we.
to come? Okay,
Yep.
good, right. We're short one player, Chris, tonight, but let me hand over to Bruce, who's our GM, and hand away. Off you go, Bruce.
Oh, should we do intros? So I'm Bruce. I'm the GM. Who else have we got on the call? Man with a pipe.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm playing Tetch Colburn, also known as Smokey.
Part of the infamous Colburn brothers. For which we've only established 2 so far, but there may be more.
The
That's interesting.
Colburn clan spreads wide across this city.
Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian. I play Adric Dunville, a scamp that's grown up in Duskville his whole life. Moved from being a beggar to a crew lookout, and now applies his trade thieving.
Outrageous and scandalous insults.
An honest trade.
It isn't in Duskville.
And then
It's a common trade.
and I'm Andy. I am playing Obadiah Halliston, who uses the sort of alias Sand, who is the muscle of the group, an ex-imperial military, honourably discharged Lance Corporal, who is, I think, handy with both a blade and a firearm, I believe.
I am handy with a firearm, and that is the handiest I get in terms of violence.
Is firearms hunt?
Yeah,
It can be, depending on the angle, what you're sort of doing.
Okay,
that's true.
Unless you're
Still-
smashing someone over the head with your gun, then
Yeah. then it's wreck.
oh, not skirmish.
It could be skirmish. It depends.
Okay.
What it is.
Okay.
I mean, if you were smashing some crates with a gun, then it would be wreck.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I forgot to mention Adric's nickname is Smiler, which is ironic because he's got a permanent scowl in his face.
Okay.
Definitely nicknames are often. Okay, so last session we established the characters, did a little bit of into sort of connectivity. We did briefly at the very end have a meeting with Bazo Baz, leader of the Lamp Blacks, who was more than happy to see some fresh meat come off the street, looking to advance themselves, and quite happy to throw you into the meat grinder. So he steered you towards a crows. They're currently at war with the crows and the red sashes, for that matter, all vying over Crowsfoot territory. At the moment, the inter-gang warfare is maybe sort of medium level at the moment. It's not low level. It's sort of heating up. There's not quite open fighting in the streets just yet.
Yeah, the occasional opportunist strike. And
there's definitely fights, definitely lots more strikes, definitely people are aware of the fact. But
yeah, there's some back alley violence, but it hasn't descended into open street violence
I'm
yet.
sure we'll do our utmost to turn it into an absolute open bloody conflict.
Calm that down. Yeah, they haven't sent in the National Guard yet, but it's anyway. It's a 3-way fight in Crowsfoot. You gamely accepted to try and put a supply cache of the crows out of commission for the Lamp Blacks. Now, Andy, your character, what did he do last session in terms of finding out information?
He backed up Chris's character, who is called Shifty.
Yeah.
And we were sort of scouting around the Fisher Court area, I think, where this place is. And I was trying to assist him, but I have a vague memory of completely failing.
Yes, I think you threw a single dice.
And failed. But rolled a 2, which I think made things more complicated, didn't it? were trying to gain sort of some information, and
That's right. That's what the consort role is for.
yeah,
Got
and
it.
we were just but I don't think we gained very much. Mainly
No,
because
not
my
on that
roll was
roll.
terrible, and Chris's was marginally better.
Okay, well, be that as it may, not a problem. So, Ian.
Yeah, I think I was travelling to the same area, but with a different view. I think myself and Smokey wanted to sort of scope out the building.
Yeah.
I also want to take the opportunity to sort of bump fists with a few of my old muckers, the beggars, and on the street corners, to try and get a view of what they see happening around this building.
Okay, so you are going to work your contacts in the sort of begging community. Plenty of those on the streets of
Yes,
Crowsfoot and elsewhere.
the Baker Street irregular play. Gotta love it.
Yes, yes. Now, you know that this could potentially be risky. The crows are no mugs and they know what's going on as well. And any interaction that you might have is always going to carry the risk of it getting back to the crows.
Mm-hmm.
But useful information about this place could be worth the risk. So you already have a contact in the beggars, I believe.
Yeah, Telda.
Did we ever establish your relationship with Telda?
Yeah, she was a friend of Adric's mother when at the time of his mother was severely injured.
Yes.
And became a bit of a second mother to him while his own mother was covering, and sort of took him under her wing, certainly in terms of the begging and the trade and all the right places to go. And if you limp like this, it gets a little bit more sympathy. That sort of guidance.
Okay.
Yeah. So and she's got in that she's his touchstone to that world.
Excellent. All right. So she may be in this area. She may not. She could certainly steer you towards the right people to contact in the area. I suppose. What type of information are you looking for? Are you just fishing to see what you can get from the GM?
A bit of that, but also
specific?
It's sort of the numbers of people coming and going. Is there deliveries or stuff being transported in, or is it sort of all handheld or in pockets or bags or whatever? Just a general feel, and the sort of numbers that may be in the building.
Sure. Okay. I think that might be. Let's have a look at your character sheet. What do I think that might be? How are you going to approach it? There's a couple of ways that you can do that. Consort is very much a friendly chat. Sway is a little bit more
Muted.
I think he's. Yeah, I was thinking consort. I was thinking consort in as much as.
Well, I'm thinking more about the beggars in the area rather than
right.
her, unless you're going to go just to her to ask her as a sort of funnel for the information. Yeah, in fact, that is the question. Are you going to?
Yeah, no, I don't think
the local beggars.
She generally doesn't necessarily work this area, but she will probably know the crews that do. So I was probably going to get a bit of information from her. As to the best people to talk to, I suppose, yeah.
That's fine. I don't think we need to make a roll for that. I do think that she can give you the relevant contacts in that sort of area to speak to. But she'd obviously give you a warning, as we've just established, that tensions are running high. The crows are being careful about their operations, and the beggars and the street folk that are out on the street are a primary eyes and ears for any crews out there. And frankly, people will work for scraps and coin, as you well know.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
I guess in that case, consort doesn't really fit, does it? Because I don't know these people necessarily.
No, I mean, use consort to talk to her for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think you might use survey.
Right.
You might use prowl. Is less kind of prowl would be more kind of doing it yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could intimidate. So you could command or sway, intimidate. Depends how what you want to do. Or you could cozy up to people. Consort.
Yeah, it's not in his. That's his style. He's not gonna. It's not. He's short, scrawny guy. He's not. And he doesn't really bring too much in threat in any sense, sort of thing. So it's not like he's got a big crew behind him that people know about. So anything he gets, he's gonna have to wheedle out of people rather than force it out of them.
Okay, so you can see you working the streets, talking to people, maybe handing out a little bit of this, that, and the other.
Yep.
Sort of grease the wheels and trying to gain a little bit of information. Okay, as with every one of these roles, we establish the situation. I don't think it's a controlled situation. I think it's risky. I don't think you're desperate, but I think it's a basic risky. I think the effect, unless you're willing to, well, maybe not splash the cash, I suppose. It's not like you have much cash to splash. I don't think there's a way that you can at the moment increase the effect. So the effect will be a default effect.
He's got a bag on his back with scraps of things like some fresh fruit or something like that.
Yep.
I guess we're not in the loadout, but we're not into the school, yeah. So it's nothing too expensive. It's just stuff, Oh,
yeah, the right stuff.
As I'm chatting to someone, fancy an apple sort of type.
Yeah, absolutely. Working the situation. I think it'll be a standard effect, which is fine. Okay, so you've got 1 dice in consort by the looks of it.
Yep.
Would you like to push this roll? So you take 2 stress, and you'd get an extra dice, or you may accept a devil's bargain. Now, devil's bargain, something basically bad will happen, but you get a +1 to the dice. So that might be that the beggars pass on the information that somebody is snooping around. That'd be a devil's bargain. Might increase the clock. We've got a progress clock at the moment ticking away. The crows are aware of you circling their stash at 2 pips out of 4.
That's where it is at the moment.
Yeah.
Dun,
I'm going to push myself.
You're going to push yourself. Okay, so mark off 2 stress on your character sheet. Perfect.
Yep.
I suspect it can. So the position is risky. I don't know how you push yourself on the dice roll. I haven't had to make a dice roll as a GM.
Do I just add another dice to consort and then take it off after the roll? Or that do the job?
No, you get bonus dice at the end. So if you click on consort, if you put consort back to what it was.
Yep.
If you click on consort.
Okay.
The actual word, it will come up and ask you what the position is.
Position's risky.
Yep. Standard, and it will ask you for bonus dice.
Okay. And it's 1 then, so.
Yes. So you've pushed yourself. All right. You've failed. All right. No problem at all. Well, not necessarily that you failed. Things go badly. You suffer a harm, a complication, you end up in a desperate position, or you lose this opportunity. So I don't think it's worth going down desperate positions because we're not. This is not a continuation of an encounter. Obviously, you're not going to get any information. A complication or harm, however, might be the right way forward here. Certainly not your fault. What you do notice as you go through the streets of Crow's Foot is, especially around this area, it's the northwest part of the Crow's Foot, there's a tension in the air. Even the beggars and the street folk are realizing that at any moment violence could erupt in the streets. Crows fighting lampblacks, fighting the sashes, fighting bluecoats, and everybody is looking left and looking right But at the same time, in this type of situation, there's always an opportunity to be made for a lone stranger wandering the streets asking information. I think you might have been beset by a couple of likely people thinking that those apples in your bag are delightfully tasty, and then they don't have any information to give. They might as well make the most of it. Does that feel right?
Yep, sounds about right.
You've got Smokey backing you up, haven't you?
No, probably not in as much as
I thought you went up with pairs.
we went together. We're in the same sort of area. I'm not sure if having a rough, tough Scotland.
Yeah, no, we'll get to Smokey. I think
me.
I had the feeling that he might be somewhere up high, surveilling the situation.
Yeah, that was the plan anyway.
With the crows.
Yeah,
That's no problem at all. So I think you've been in one of the dark, slightly misty alleys of the Crow's Foot, maybe slightly later at night, maybe as you are working your way through the contacts that you've been given, working your way around, sort of getting a feel for the place and a sense of what's going on. You notice, and you've certainly noticed, I think, that there's, apart from the tension, that there are a lot of eyes on this area as well. You are distracted and you are shoved roughly to the ground, your bag torn from your back, taking a few scrapes and bruises as small gang of children swarm over you, stealing your backpack and then disappear in all directions. Let's give you a harm, just because we want to flex the system and see how that goes. Now it should be a level 1 harm. What might that be? Maybe you got into a scuffle with them, or would you let them get away with it? Maybe you've just been pushed to the ground and you've got a few scrapes and bruises on your knees.
Yeah, I don't think having been one of those kids, I don't think I would have particularly held it against them. I'll probably kick myself for being a little bit too obvious. So I'll probably just take the harm.
Okay.
Is that going to be something like bruised or something? Is it?
Yeah, battered maybe.
Battered.
Kicking yourself a little bit mentally for forgetting the ways of the streets.
Exactly that. Yeah.
It was always a danger. You always knew it. I don't think you'd forgotten the ways of the streets. It's just sometimes bad luck happens.
Yeah.
When you're on the streets. Sadly.
Such is life.
All right. So that was Smiler. Smokey, where are you?
I'm at a high vantage point, overlooking the place in question that we're going to hit.
Yep.
Trying to see kind of what, at least in terms of like external security, they have, like who comes, who goes, what they might be bringing in or out.
You nestle yourself in a high vantage point up in the dangerous rooftops of the Crow's Foot.
And I will break out my spyglass for this.
Dangerous not only because the quality of construction of the buildings is poor, and at any moment a tile or something else might slip from beneath your feet, but it is extremely unlikely that you'll be the only person up on these rooftops late at night.
Yes.
As you surveil the situation.
Oh yes, the rooftop, the Assassin's Highway.
Well, there are worse things than humans up here as well late at night.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I didn't know that.
Oh. Okay. All right, Nick. How are you going to do this? You're going to surveil the situation. You're going to do survey, maybe?
Yeah. Does my spyglass that I have as one of my items give any bonuses to this, or?
I think so. Typically, what the hell was that?
Let's Andy say he's going to be back in a sec.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know why I was looking around like, yes, something weird must have occurred.
Just something beeped at me. I wasn't quite sure what was going on. Yeah, so generally an item doesn't necessarily add a dice roll, but what it will affect is the effect of the situation,
Right.
the overall effect of the situation. So I think, again, I don't think this is a controlled situation. You're in an unknown area. It's not like you're in a tower that you're used to.
It's not like I'm at the rooftop of the Drunken Parrot.
No, indeed, there are definitely dangers to be had here. I think, however, given that you have a spyglass, that we will give you the potential for a great effect.
Ooh. Aha. All right. Well, I will.
So quality represents the effectiveness of tools and weapons and resources, usually summarized by tier. But yes, it would improve the quality by 1.
All right.
All right. Now, do you want to push yourself?
I think I will push myself.
So cross off 2 stress.
Yep. And then roll. And it was determined my position is risky, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Submit.
Do you want to take a devil's bargain?
No, I will not take a devil's bargain.
Okay, nobody ever wants to take a devil's bargain.
I probably will, just not yet. I feel there may be a more apropos time, a more narratively interesting time.
There's something wrong with the dice roll on this game. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no!
You got a 75% chance of getting a success with a partial or full, and I don't think anyone has actually scored.
Yeah, it's a weird situation. It's a weird situation.
I had a sinking feeling this would happen.
As you settle down into your perch and you look over the cache, the supply cache, and in fact, nobody has really gotten very close to this at the moment. But things that you do know, there are lots of buildings in the area, lots of layers of buildings in the area, but it would seem that the crows are using a soup restaurant as a cover for their sort of operations, known as Hooks and Ladle. Hooks with an apostrophe to imply that Hook is the owner. A sort of soup shop come restaurant for most at the poorer end of the market that can still afford to pay for food. So they get offcuts of fish from other places, and river eel and a few other canal eel and a few other pieces.
A few of the less choice mushrooms.
It seems like the crows are using this as a cover to sort of cover the activity of wagons and cabs going backwards and forwards, taking supplies out of this supply cache. I mean, you would guess from a gambling den point of view. I mean, what would you hazard that a gambling dens around the crow's foot for the crows would need in the way of supplies? Boozes, drinks, other things.
Yep, boozes, definitely boozes. Probably, depending on if they're shipping back and forth, what they're probably doing is they're shipping in boozes primarily, and perhaps some light foodstuffs. And also they're probably shipping in hard currency and shipping out what people have bet, whether that be baubles or whatever they've been putting up for collateral. I assume since it's underground, they take things other than straight cash as collateral. So
You've upgraded the supply cache to a money store as well. Good man. I like that type of upgrade.
well, it's possible that the money store is in a different location, but it
Not any
depends on
longer.
how. Okay, wow. I just made this way more dangerous for us.
But
Bigger
way more
payoff.
lucrative. It could be a.
Oh yeah,
Bigger-
that's true. We could make out like bandits.
So one
Well,
of the things
we could make out like us. We are bandits.
we are bandits. One of the things that happens in Blades in the Dark is that the pay that you get, the coins that you get, is never under threat. What they try and do is take that away from you. Obviously, in this world, is people then start second guessing themselves. They don't trust anybody. But basically, the game says if you are going to be paid 4 coin for this job, and you do it successfully, you will get that 4 coin.
Right.
That does mean if you get additional money out of this, that you will still get 4 coin, and that additional money will be kicked back to the lampblacks. But that might have, for all whatever happens to it, could be lost down the back of the canal for all we know at this point. But yeah, just to put that out there, you don't have to worry about those things.
Yeah,
there is, in fact, systemic honor amongst thieves.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine the more lucrative in this scenario, even if we're still only getting paid 4 coin and all that's getting kicked back to the lampblacks, is we look even better as allies to the lampblacks for this big score we have landed.
In any event, I can see an iconic sort of cinematic shot of you on the top of a rooftop or by the side of a bottom of a roof in a gutter, looking out, maybe holding on to a chimney or something as you sort of scan over the situation. The huge fractured sun and the huge moon casting a sort of Sin City style black and white image over you.
Yeah. Smoke billows out of the chimney scenically behind me.
Does your character smoke, or anyway, how do they pass the time on a boring surveillance?
Probably. Actually, yeah, I'm probably posted up near a chimney, and I'm probably smoking a pipe.
Okay. Yes, smoking a pipe carefully and contemplating. You spend several hours on this vantage point looking out, and all that you can see is the soup kitchen, delivering soup to the needy folk of the Devil's Furnace, quarter of the Crow's Foot. As the mists descend, which does tend to happen at this time of day, at this time of year, your visibility from your vantage point plummets considerably. It has descended somewhat early today.
Buggery.
Yes. Good for skullduggery, but not great for the situation.
Yes. Folds up spyglass, fat lad of good. This does me. Put it in my pocket.
Yes, indeed. I think we will say that as you descend from as the mist descends or the mist rises, depending on how you look at it, the route back becomes slippery and dangerous. You weren't expecting the mists to rise quite so early. Let us just knock off another stress as you carefully make your way through the dangerous rooftops back to your crewmates, where you will now plot your heist. So normally we probably wouldn't have bothered with that type of, those type of investigations, but I wanted to give everybody a flavour for the rules. What we would typically do in a typical job is we would see the situation, you would provide an approach, and then we would flash back to these things to provide more detail. The idea of this game, whether you like it or not, is to get into the action as quickly as possible rather than do any of the planning. Now, I've seen a lot of contrary people saying, well, actually, the sitting around the table and gathering the information and planning is the fun bit, right? But that's not this game. So if you like that sort of spending 3 hours planning the perfect heist in person as part of the character, then this is not the game for you.
This, I mean, this just turned into like a dark heist comedy. I mean, imagine all the flashing back to like, ah, yes, I scoped out the joint for 3 days, and it's just rolling fog in front of my spyglass. I can't see, bloody shy. And then flashes back to like.
I don't think you should feel too bad.
Bowled over.
I don't think that you should feel too bad. I mean, much like the weather in the United Kingdom, the mists that descend in Duskfall are unpredictable at best. So they can rise at a moment's notice.
I think it's hilarious, honestly, because like, I'm just thinking about it from like a flashback perspective. Because most of the time in heist movies with the flashback, it's like, oh yes, I've been setting up this. This is all the things I put into place that will now all come together in this grand plan. And in ours, it's yes, I flash back to when I almost fell off a rooftop because it was slippery. I flash back to Ian getting mobbed by a bunch of children.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. It's more realistic flashbacks, I think, rather than...
Yeah. It's like, how did we miss this? Flashes back to Ian getting bowled over. That's right. I remember now. How did I not see that guy on the roof? Oh, that's right. Oh, that mist was in the way.
Yeah, I think Ocean's 11 would have been a different film if it had been done like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just...
All right. So the heist itself, you know information about this supply cache. You're not going in blind. Okay, you've done your due diligence. You've asked around. You know it is a soup kitchen. You know that they're smuggling in contraband. They may very well even be avoiding taxes, caching the supplies here and then sending them out to the gambling dens. You can make a guess, a reasonable guess as a group that they're doing this somehow under the cover of this kind of restaurant or soup kitchen, maybe as delivery drivers picking things up or as customers taking away soup, but you don't know the details until you get into the situation. The engagement role is really a way of starting us at the first encounter or the first obstacle within the score, and knowing whether things are going well at this point or things have started to go off the rails from the start. We'll go through it by the book first, just so that people can get a sense of how this sets it out, and then I think from then on we'll play it a little bit more loose if we get to a second heist. So you've got 6 options. You're going to assault, use deception, so you could lure, trick, or manipulate. It's more of a stylistic choice than anything else. You could use stealth, you could use occult, social, or transport. These are the details. There are 6 different sort of plans, if you like, much like a computer game where you sort of pick your plan, I suppose. Each has a missing detail. So on the assault, you're going to do violence to a target, and the detail is the point of attack. Deception, you're going to lure, trick, or manipulate. The method, and then the detail is a method of deception. Stealth, you're going to trespass unseen, detail point of infiltration, occult, social, transport, blah, blah, blah. What we're really trying to establish here is your modus operandi and then a kind of call entry point. We don't have to be limited to those 6 type of things, but what we don't want is the entire plan. Okay, so you've got to wreck this cache. How do you want to approach it as a group? What's your stylistic approach? Are you going to try and lure some of the people that work there into a compromising situation and then blackmail them? Are you going to go in guns blazing, fighting, drawing swords and fighting your way through? Are you going to solicit the forgotten gods to break in? You're going to go in by stealth. Or are you going to go in and do a deal and try and persuade your way out of this one?
Can I just ask a question? How does what's with the transport one?
Carry cargo or people through danger. So they often tie the group's sort of roles, if you like, maybe as smugglers, with different sort of modes of operation. But ultimately, something like transport wouldn't necessarily be. I mean, you could try and intercept one of their deliveries, for example, when it's being delivered. This is all stylistic choice. It gives you the option of deciding how you want to do things.
I think we go for a classic stealth break-in in the middle of the night.
And it begins with S.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. The part of the Fisher Court backs onto a canal.
Mm-hmm.
Have we spotted, by any chance, if they have access? If they have an access to this restaurant from the canal?
So a loading dock or that sort of thing.
Yeah.
There is not a known loading dock for the fish restaurant, Hooks and Ladle. That is obvious. However, you do know from your various terrible rolls, you have accumulated enough information to know that there is a concealed entrance from the canal into Hooks and Ladle, which you believe, at least it is assumed by those in the know in the area, that is how they are smuggling their goods in.
So I think that could be our entry point. I think we try and sneak in there, and because if we're trying to wreck things, one of these things do is just throw things into the canal, things that could be spoiled, throw them into the canal. So that puts us immediately close to wrecking stuff. What do you guys think?
My only concern with going in that way is that's going to be the most guarded. If it's the way that the goods go in,
True.
potentially, we almost want to. It's the downstairs window that's been slightly boarded up, or that sort of thing that we probably want to target, where it's a bit of the building that's not being used, and try and go in that way.
Or do we try and find a skylight and come in from the top and come down?
I think the concealed entrance is a good one. That you don't know if there is a skylight, but yeah, you could go in. It doesn't really matter, by the way.
Well, except the concealed entrance, as Smiler pointed out, is quite possibly the more guarded entrance point. We don't know enough about how their setup is because we failed on all of our rolls.
Yes, but also, like I say, it doesn't really matter. You just need to choose a cinematic entry point. And also bear in mind with Blades as well that this is a game of action and scoundrels doing daring raids. Part of the situation here is also making a reputation for yourself. So, the concealed entrance might be the most guarded, or it might be the least guarded because nobody would expect it because it's concealed. And the skylight, for example, might be heavily guarded because that's the obvious place to go in.
True.
Yeah.
So stylistically,
let's go for the concealed entrance then. Unless, Nick, as long as you're.
No. I think the concealed entrance is fine. I was just thinking about how we wreck the place, and this place has large quantities of alcohol, presumably strong, and it is a kitchen, so therefore it has open flames. And I'm not saying that 2 + 2 makes 4, but not saying that either.
You may have known each other for a long time, and everybody that knows Nick's character, Tetch Smokey Colburn, knows that the smoky applies to his guns and other things. You've seen this glint in his eye before. Even if he hasn't said that out loud, everybody knows in the back of his mind he is equating flammable substances and open flames and creating a beautiful imagery in his own mind.
The only thing is, if we have a fire, it needs to be a controlled fire. We can't burn the whole building down and set light to the entire part of the crow's foot.
To which Smokey always nods and goes, "Of course, it's always controlled."
Naturally.
But this bit is controlled by the crows, though, isn't it? So
yeah,
collateral damage still falls to them.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Right, so you're going to make your way.
I mean, look,
into
the mists
canal.
have been very active. It's very damp.
Good point. And the building is made of brick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's likely we'll just gut the building and then,
Okay. Right. So,
it's an option. It's on the table is all I'm saying.
Okay,
so
so item loadouts would be the next thing. Sorry, go on.
I would say this concealed entrance. Do we need to steal a boat to get to it, or can we just creep
Oh
along
no,
beside the buildings?
you are going to be starting outside the concealed entrance in a rickety gondolier, ready to go. But
Right.
I'd like to know what your loadouts are like.
Hmm.
So on your character sheets,
Yep.
one of the ways that we sort of hand wave the idea of what you're carrying is you get to choose a loadout, light, normal, or heavy.
Mm-hmm.
This may impact certain things. So if you're trying to, for example, run away from an enraged mob of crows, it might make it more difficult if you're heavily loaded. If you're trying to make your way through the streets, then you're obviously heavily loaded. All those things apply. So, but you don't have to decide what you're going to take as you go along, and you need items in order to make things happen. Then you will tick them off as you need them. So that's a way of kind of providing you with a. Okay. So and you're going to go normal, not too light, not too heavy.
Yep, I've gone normal.
Perfect. Ian?
Yeah, Smiler's going normal as well.
That makes a perfect amount of sense. Nick?
I'm gonna go normal, I guess.
Cool. You don't need to tick off the items. You're not picking what you do. You tick them off when you are when they use them.
So just to be clear, because I'm assuming that Smokey has a telescope or something, whatever it was, looking
Spyglass. Yeah.
spyglass
Yep.
as one of his items. So even though he's sort of declared he has that before, he doesn't have to declare he's got it now because he may have left it behind or something like that. And
yeah, because it wasn't part of the. If it were actually in the middle of the heist,
Yeah.
then he would have ticked that spyglass as one of his useful items, and it would boost the. Well, either I would say it's a necessary thing in order to do what you're trying to do. Like
Yeah.
you can't have a sword fight without the sword. You can't look at a building a long way away without a spyglass. Or if you could have done, but it helps you, it would improve the situation, or potentially even increase the position to say a control position, depending on the circumstance of the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
You are in the right. We need to roll. It's the engagement roll. Right. Cut to the action. You are in the Devilfish Canal, a small, dank canal with pondweed growth all around it, brick walls on either side of you. There are several steps leading up to streets from here and several mooring points along the way. The canals are a vital part of the city's sort of transport system. Lots of people use sort of like that cross between Venice and the other sort of European cities. They're in constant use. But I would suspect that it is later at night and there is not so much traffic about at this point in time. Slime and the unpleasant smell of rotted fish, or at least castaway fish from the soup kitchen, potentially still floating in the canal with you, provides that certain smell, maybe that you're used to, maybe not. It's dark down here at the bottom of the canal. It's not very well lit at all. Brickwork, and this area is made of brick. The warehouse that you are staring in at the moment, as the pale light of the moon shines down, casting shadows all about you, is a sagging, poor old building that has seen better days, much like the rest of the Crow's Foot area. It is badly stained by soot. It's not clear whether that's from an ancient or an old fire long gone, or just the accumulation of the smoke and smog from the fires that burn inside the city. You bob gently on the canal in a small boat that you may have stolen earlier in order to aid your entrance, with the vital information that there is a concealed entrance in which the crows are smuggling their goods into their cache, both to keep it out of sight from the predatory gangs that roam the Crow's Foot, of which you would put the police as one of them, the blue coats as one of them. They are avoiding the inevitable taxes that would be levied both by the authorities and by those crew to safely transport their goods. It takes only but a moment's notice to work out where the concealed entrance is, and you may make your entrance. We will start by getting somebody to make the engagement roll. So you start with 1 dice for just sheer luck, or because you're player characters. You need to nominate somebody to make this roll. The engagement roll assumes the PCs are approaching the target as intelligently as they can, given the plan and the detail they provided. So we don't need to play out tentative probing maneuvers, special precautions, rather ponderous non-action. The engagement roll covers all of that. The PCs are already in the action, facing the first obstacle, up on the rooftop, picking the lock, or down, wherever it might be. So you don't make the engagement roll and then describe the PCs approaching the target. We are going to say you are approaching the target, and the first obstacle is to get into the building unnoticed through this concealed entrance.
All right. Well, who's got good prowl?
No, this
Sorry,
is just a luck roll. There's no skill roll in
it's
this.
just a luck roll.
So
okay.
you get a dice.
Okay.
Is this operation particularly bold or daring? I think it is.
Okay.
You get 2 dice.
Oh.
Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Take an extra +1 dice. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have a particular defenses or special preparations? Take a -1. I don't think it's where they're weakest. I don't think it's where they're strongest. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? So this would be allies like the Lamp Blacks or any of your friends or contacts. Does anybody have anybody in the know for this soup kitchen or maybe amphibious assaults?
It's not a Frakes lock, is it?
Oh, sweet. I like it. Let's give you a +1 because the concealed entrance is
That's good.
locked by a Frakes lock. I love it. Okay, so that's 3 dice.
Would an assassin perhaps have any know-how about infiltrating either this place in particular, or perhaps insight as to how to infiltrate it via the method we're choosing?
Do you believe that any self-respecting assassin would be seen anywhere near this area?
Well, they wouldn't be seen.
Yeah, well, that's true. Are there any other elements that you might consider? Maybe a lower tier target will give you a +1. Maybe a higher tier target will give you a -1.
Well, we did say that this is now their primary money stash, so.
So when you say tier, you mean as in what level in their sort of setup?
Yes. So the crows are a tier 2 gang.
And we're a tier
0.
So they are higher tier than us. So does that put a modifier on it?
It could do if we think it was relevant in this particular case. I don't think it is.
Okay.
Yes, no, it's fine. I mean, I think if I was being in a less generous mood, you might say take a dice off. But I think 3 dice is fine. So we need somebody to make an engagement rolls. How do we do that in the system then, Andy?
Yeah.
Right. I think
You're
Ian does it, but unless there's something on the character sheet, I can't see anything on engagement roll. Am I being blind?
Right. So there is a roll fortune roll.
Yeah.
And it is a fortune roll.
Okay.
Cool. So the number of dice would be 3.
Right.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think Ian rolls it because you've got the connection with the lock.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure,
yes.
that makes sense.
Okay.
That way we can
So,
Nick and I can blame you if your roll's bad.
Yeah.
obviously, have you seen how I've rolled so far? Are you sure?
I mean,
So-
look, we didn't roll any better.
Hey,
Way.
Yeah, look at that. So the crows, fearing that people might start making a move on their areas, have gone through a spending spree of installing Frakes locks across all of their establishments in an attempt to
The
up their security.
fools.
Yep.
They played right into our hands.
Yeah.
Little did they know that our crew has an expert on the subject of Frakes locks.
So you have rolled a 6, which is a good result. You are in a controlled position when the action starts. Okay. It's a Frakes
I'm
lock.
I'm guessing I'm picking it.
A smile breaks out across your face.
I also take out a little bit of pink ribbon. In fact, I've got a bit of pink ribbon that ties my lock picks together, which I just
Yes.
and I sort of stash that in my hand, and I take the picks to the lock. It is a set of fine lock picks as well. I'm not sure that makes any difference.
It will boost the quality of the situation, the result. Not only they are a fine set of picklocks, but I suspect they are specifically designed for taking Frakes locks to the cleaners and circumvent locks. Yeah, so generally that will increase the quality of the roll. So
Okay.
first things first, you get that free, do you? Those lockpicks, don't you? They kind of come as part of your.
Yeah,
They don't come.
There's no load to them.
Perfect. Yeah. Not that it's
I know it's not
particularly a big
really
deal.
in your character, but I'm just imagining him going, "Hello, this is the lockpicking lowlife here, and today we've got a Frakes model 37B."
I give a mirror to as part of the lockpick to Sand to try and catch a bit of light, and then I work at the lock with my picks. I'm guessing I'm rolling a tinker roll.
Yes, it will be a controlled situation.
And I'm not pushing myself. I'm just going to live with the 2 dice, although I've been shit at that so far.
No, I don't think you need to push yourself. I think you'll be fine.
So what does the fine item, does that give you a bonus dice, or does that?
It gives you a bonus to the effect.
Yeah.
Usually.
So there's always 2 things when you are making a roll. So position and effect. So the effect, for example, when you might say, well, this is going to take quite a long time to unpick. You might be under a bit of time pressure. In this particular case, it won't matter too much. But yes, +1 quality for a fine item.
Oh, is it? It's still a standard effect though, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No bonus dice. Ooh. Getting better at this now.
Look at that. Look at that. Nice and easy. In a control position with a 6, you do it with the ease born of much practice and work in the background. You get past Frakes lock with ease and open up. It's a wooden shuttered entrance that has been obviously locked. How do you think the crows might have concealed it in the canal from casual gaze? Maybe mucking it up with lots of. Have they draped a piece of cloth over it that looks like brickwork?
Yeah, it's you just have to do anything too much more without making it obvious in the first place when there's doing it. Yeah, it's almost like it could be just a stone where it's been sealed up or something, but actually it is still a stone door in there, I guess.
Okay. So it's a door with some brickwork on the front to make it look like a part
Yeah.
of the brick face, and the lock is easy to pick. You leave a pink bow tie.
Sorry, it's a piece of ribbon that I then
Oh,
tie
ribbon.
around the lock.
Round
Sorry,
the
did I
lock.
say bow tie? Yeah, so it's a
Yeah.
it's a pink piece of ribbon.
No worries at all.
And I sort of step to one side at this point and let my burlier friends through.
Yeah, Andy. Has Sam spent much time on the canals of Duskville, or is he more of a landlubber? Are you a nervous floater?
Sorry. I think he's grown up in the city, so I think he's got some experience. He's not plied a trade ever on the canals or the river, the waterways, so he's not an expert by any means. But I think he's got some. He's been on them occasionally. He was Imperial military, but nothing like a Marine or anything like that. So nothing particularly
Okay.
waterborne.
Oh yeah, well, Marine, absolutely.
No, he wasn't
you would
wasn't
be.
a Marine. Wasn't a
No,
Marine.
it wasn't a Marine.
No, it wasn't a Marine. No.
I'm the Marine.
Yeah, he's the Marine.
Oh, you're the Marine. Okay, so you feel a little bit more comfortable in the water.
But I shall.
So Ian, you're. Go on.
I say I shall. Sam will scramble up, and through the door.
Yes, as the door is opened, you are overwhelmed by a wave of the smell of rotting fish, entrails, guts, and what you see before you is a flooded cellar that at one point may very well have been above water and fine. And in fact, the shape of the room sort of implies that this would have been a dry cellar at some other time in Duskfall's life. Fetid water with bits of fish and rotting material floating on the surface, and there's a pair of stone stairs in the corner leading up to a door. Within the water, you can see the occasional ripple, and you are concerned that the predatory eels that inhabit the canals and the rivers of Duskfall may have been drawn to this veritable feast that is laid out in front of you, floating and bobbing gently in the water.
If this is their concealed entrance and they're coming in through this to some degree of regularity, they've got to have some way of avoiding those eels. So I'm going to look up, and are there something like, is there a sort of, I don't know, handholds or something attached to the ceiling or the wall that you can pull yourself up and scramble around the side? Or is there, I mean, how tall is the ceiling? Is there a sort of, not a walkway, but a crawlway suspended from
No, I don't. There's no crawl way. I think this is probably a deep cellar at one point that is now half filled with water, and is directly accessible to the canal. That door may very well have only been just skimming the surface, and underneath could have been open to the canal.
Okay.
By the entrance to the door, however, because you've had such a good roll at the entrance, by the sort of exit, you can see what looks like some sort of electro-prod device, a pike with using some of this newfangled plasma, etheric shock plasma to effectively, it looks like a complicated device, but you've seen the likes before. They were using stun batons in the army.
Okay.
But it's out of reach. It's out of reach.
Yeah,
It's on the side of the room.
Is there any way to sort of scrub around on the walls, or am I going to have to go through the middle of the water?
There is always a way. There is always a way. It just depends how brave you are feeling. Let's have a look.
Well, I shall turn the others. I should turn the others quickly and just say,
you on
eels
your
in the
loadout.
water.
you have got burglary gear and climbing gear.
Yeah.
And demolition tools. And lanterns. So all sorts of options are beginning to present themselves.
Right.
I would even argue that an unusual weapon could be an electro-prod. I will argue on your behalf, but only this once.
I see. I take a look into the tableau. Ah, this must be where they make the soup then.
I think I quite like the idea of so an unusual weapon. So I pull out my own. It's not as. It sounds like theirs is a big sort of electro-prod exactly for the job. Probably a big two-handed job. Whereas this is just I've got just a sort of single-handed military issue stun baton.
Oh yes, a spark. Spark baton. That's right. Okay. Yeah, possibly taken from your military days.
Yep.
A curiosity or tool turned into a weapon. A whip, a flail, a hatchet, a shovel, a length of chain, a razor-edged fan, steel-toed boots, or in this particular case, a baton. All right, what are you going to do with this
I am going to
spark baton?
I'm going to start moving forwards, and the moment I spot any ripples coming close, I'm going to just jab down into the water and potentially electrocute myself. But I'd rather that than being bitten or wrapped up by an eel.
Yeah,
You're
that's
used
best
to
done
the tingle by now.
I'm having
best done it.
trash compactor vibes. But anyway,
best done in private when you're,
but essentially, I'm trying to get across the room, up the
Mhm.
stairs to where there's the one they've got, which is the way you described it sounds like a really
Now
big two-handed job.
Yeah, you're on the water. So are you on individual craft, like small boats going in, or are you in a bigger
No,
craft
bigger
together?
craft at the forest. And
All right.
I would say for the moment that what's Chris's character called?
Shifty.
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 Shifty's probably piloting that at the moment.
All right. So Shifty is at the back now. Is this a like a rowboat or some sort of manual gondola, or is it one of the more modern spark craft
I
with,
imagine
with effectively an engine?
I imagine we've stolen it and we want it quiet, so I imagine it's a rowboat.
Yeah, or gondolas.
Yeah.
Punting.
So he is softly moving the gondolas oar at the back, and he moves you forward a little bit, sort of like a sort of sinuous movement of a fish in the water. Actually, that sort of back tail, it creates a few ripples in the water itself and takes it forward. There are a few knocks against the boat as large bodies
How big is this door?
bang into it. It'd be a door. It'd be a cellar door, I think, for loading and unloading coal maybe back in the day. So it'd be double doors that you kind of lift up.
Can the gondola fit in it?
Oh gosh. Possibly, yes, but you'd have to lift it up the stairs.
No. Don't want to lift up the stairs. Oh, sorry. There's a couple of stairs. Sorry, I'm confused. I thought the stairs.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah. So you've gone through this door to the canal, and there's a sort of sea of water in front of you, with floating detritus and the occasional disturbance on the water. In the far corner, there is what would have been old stairs leading down to the bottom of the cellar, and at the top of the cellar there is a door in the ceiling, effectively like an old coal kind of double doors, or a bar set of double doors leading out.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, the door that you've gone into is definitely big enough for the boat to go into.
Okay, so let's get the boat actually inside the bottom
stairs,
of the cellar.
Yeah.
Yes, so I think you've effectively sculled your way into this cellar. Maybe you got some light. Who's holding some light? Maybe Chris is at the back. Is holding holding a torch, maybe an oil torch, lantern up, and sort of looking at the area. Moves you forward into the cellar. Are you going to shut the door behind you to provide, to continue the illusion? You're going to lock the lock behind you to kind of, or are you going to make sure that you keep An escape route clear.
I'm leaving someone else think about that because I'm at the front of the boat, and as soon as we get close to the stairs,
Ian,
I'm going to get onto the stairs.
I think we shut the doors. Hopefully they'll stay shut without being locked. So I don't think we want to lock them in case we need to come out this way quick.
okay, yeah, cutting it both ways. Okay, Andy, I think that one of these eels is going to test the waters, so to speak, and jog the boat heavily and see if it can knock a morsel into the water.
I shall try and stun it with the spark button.
Okay, give me a stun eel with baton roll.
Right. Skirmish?
Yes, I think close combat, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, this is also a case where you could probably, arguably, say do wreck, something like that, where you're just trying to
Gotcha.
literally just wreck it rather than fight it.
Okay. I'm definitely trying to fight it. Definitely skirmish, not wreck.
All right, so you're going to pick up a 2 dice for that because you have 2 dice for skirmish.
Yep.
You can push yourself, which is take 2 stress to get a dice. You can take a devil's bargain. Now, devil's bargain, one of the joys of this running the system is that the cognitive load is not always on the GM. So if anybody else can think of a cool devil's bargain, then please do. So, for example, a devil's bargain would be, yes, you do fight the eels off, but you lose your baton.
Okay. So I think I'm just going to go with a straight roll.
Bold move.
And I'm right. Is it risky, or is it controlled, or is it desperate?
I don't think this is a controlled situation. I don't think it's a desperate situation. I think it's a risky situation. But I think you would get a better than standard result because you're armed with this baton.
So the effect would be what? Standard? Is that one above that? Is that limited?
No, it's the other way.
Other way. Let me just go to the actual page in here so I can read out any useful information that might have it. So it will be a great effect. You achieve more than usual.
Great. Okay.
Effectively, it does 3 points of damage rather than 2.
Okay, and then click submit. I don't have any bonus dice because the unusual weapon just gives me the greater.
Now, somebody could assist you. What they can do is assist you is they can spend a stress and then they can add a dice and they just say how they're assisting you. Would you like to assist? Would Smokey like to assist him with, say, example, high explosives? Or
let's
all like that.
grenade fishing.
Please, can we keep the noise down?
Yeah, no.
but you would need to spend a stress.
I think.
Yeah, I'm not. I think he can take this.
Yeah. Okay.
Good man.
I was wrong. He cannot take
Or
this.
Double one. Jeez.
Oh no.
I've never seen such bad rolling in all my life.
Oh, I have, but only like once long ago.
I do believe Roll20, whatever game you're playing, the rolls never feel random. One way or the other, they don't ever feel random.
All right. So you suffer harm, you suffer a complication, you end up in a desperate position, or you lose this opportunity. You could be bitten by an eel. I think a complication might be more along the lines of maybe somebody might notice, or some like the crows might be coming up. So the consequence represents trouble, mounting danger, or a new threat. Blah 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 blah. So I don't particularly like that idea. I think the desperate situation in this condition is that you would be knocked into the water. Your character would be knocked from the boat and splash into the water. That would become a desperate situation. Or you lose this opportunity. I don't feel that losing this opportunity is good. So I think you can either be wounded by the eel, or end up in a desperate position, knocked into the water.
I
Unless anybody
can't-
else got any other cool ideas.
Oh, I was going to say I can't. It wouldn't just be I lose the spark button. Is that too? That's not a big enough consequence.
It's not big enough consequence. Now you can resist these consequences if you don't like them.
Mhm.
Then you can resist them, and that is we haven't done that yet. I didn't allow people to resist the previous bits just to keep it simple. But basically, if you don't like a consequence from the roll, then you can resist it. Now, a resistance roll it works against stress, so it eats away at your stress. So I think, for the sake of argument, we haven't done this before. I'll put you in a desperate situation. There's a the eel knocks into the boat, rocking everybody from side to side. The Marine there, Smokey the Marine, ex-Marine, is quite comfortable with this type of thing. He's probably had to deal with eels before. Ian, how does Ian feel about potentially carnivorous eels circling in the water as the boat is being jogged? And
he's particularly nervous. In fact, he's now crouched down and he's holding both sides of the boat.
Right, okay. Whilst Andy's character, Sand, is prodding into the water with his spark baton, little sparks rippling through the water. You get a few good hits, Andy, on eels as they go past. But then a particularly aggressive eel leaps out of the water. This thing is massive. It's not just, it's probably slightly bigger than you, crashes into the boat, crashes into you, and knocks you into the water.
Okay.
For a moment, everything goes dark and everything goes very cold as you splash back to the surface.
Is there a solid enough floor that I'm standing in water, or am I swimming?
Oh, that's a good question. We haven't really established how deep this is. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one. Give me a 2 dice fortune roll, real quick. You like the question, though? No. No. You go down. You're completely submerged. Your feet don't touch the bottom. You don't think it can be that much deeper, but no.
Right.
Unless whatever floor used to be here has gone, and there was a further room underneath.
That's swimming and pushing off anything I come across that's solid, which might actually be an eel.
It'd be an eel.
I try and swim. I'm not trying to get back in the boat because I'll probably end up tipping it. I try and get to those steps and try and find. I'm assuming that those steps carried on down. There was brick or stone steps.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
they go into the water and then underneath. Yeah.
Keep going. Try and make my way to there as quickly as possible.
You are going to thrash and swim your way to those as fast as you can. Meanwhile, on the boat, Chris's character Shifty will shout out, "No!" and then sort of paddle furiously. He may even get the paddle out and start beating at the eels as he can. What's everybody else going to do? You're going to try and help?
Well, as much as I'd love to grab the larger shock staff thing that we are presumably now close enough to grab and use it, that seems like it might end badly for for poor Andy. So,
No, I don't think you got to the end. I don't think it'd be fair to knock Andy's character into the water and then have you sort of arrive at the time. I think
fair enough.
The eels are kind of knocking the boat too furiously to make progress.
Well, then I will grab like another pole or oar and try to like push us towards the other side rapidly.
All right, fantastic. Give me a paddle furiously roll then. Ian, is your character going to help paddling, or are they going to help Andy's character in some way? Maybe distract the eels, or throw him a life preserver, or
I think he's swimming away from us, but I'm going to take out my my 50 foot of hempen rope. Climbing gear is 2 items.
Really, if you're just trying to help him, you can just spend a stress and give him a dice. That's you can.
Oh,
you don't
yeah,
have to.
okay, yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
There's probably some rope on the.
I'll find.
There's probably some rope on the boat.
Yeah, but I mean, you're swimming away, so you're not going to want to come back
You
to
could
the boat.
splash the water.
I'm going to slap the water. I'll find something to just slap the water with to try and attract them.
Fantastic. Okay, so we'll do that. So Nick,
I take a. Do I take a stress?
Yes, take a stress, and then we'll give Andy's character an extra dice in a moment. Chris, paddle furiously. Nick, paddle furiously. Smokey's going to paddle furiously.
Yeah, so probably prowl for that.
You could use. Yes, you could use prowl, definitely.
Right.
You're going to push yourself, or are you going to take a devil's bargain?
I will take a devil's bargain.
What devil's bargain can we think of? So something that bad is going to happen to you. Something bad that could happen to you.
Well, he could hit a big lump of rotting fish and it explode in his face.
Oh, lovely.
I'm not sure if that's bad enough consequence, though.
I think it might be bad enough consequence. I think smelling badly of fish in an eel-infested water, and/or if you're trying to stealth your way into a soup kitchen, could provide amusement. Yes, so I think you can be bashing around, but ultimately you'll be covered in rotting, oily fish water, which might be an issue for later on, or it might just be that you have a few sleepless nights and a few shaking fevers later.
Yeah. All right. And this is risky, I presume, or is this desperate? Or
No, I think it's risky. I don't think it's desperate for you guys. It's not controlled for sure, and I think it'll be a standard effect.
All right. And then 1 bonus die for the.
1 bonus die.
All right. Here goes everything. Hey, look at that.
Yay! So you have succeeded with a complication. So you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer harm, a complication, you've reduced the effect, or you end up in a desperate situation. You are covered from head to foot in not just water, but a sort of a thick, gelatinous, oily, fishy residue. You're not entirely sure whether that's just rotting fish, maybe stuff that's been thrown down here by the kitchen staff, maybe some sort of secretion from the eels. At the moment, your senses are being assaulted from all directions, and really, it's very difficult to ascertain the exact.
Yeah, like I dry heave a couple times, and I'm just like,
no, don't open your mouth.
Just.
Okay. I don't want to put you into a desperate situation. I don't want to reduce your effect so that you have to do this again. I think a complication at this point would be good. So I think maybe just give you some harm. Maybe actually this sludge or slime could be toxic and can make you feel nauseous. Now, I would suggest that we try and resist this, so we show you how the resistance works. Yeah, so it might give you like a level 2 harm.
I will attempt to resist.
Okay, so the way that you do a resistance roll is you take a look at your first column. So this would be resolve, for example, and you've got 2 dots in that first column. So you've got a resolve resistance of 2. Okay?
Okay.
In order to negate this damage completely, you're going to suffer 6 stress minus the resistance roll. So you're going to roll 2 dice. Yep. But you might be able to click on resolve, I would guess. Yes, you can click on resolve.
Yes, I can.
With no bonus dice, and we will take the highest result and then subtract that from 6. You take 0 stress. Okay, and
there
you
we
resist
go.
the consequence. So,
all right.
For a moment, you could have taken a full mouthful of this oily secretion, and you realise this could have been very possibly the last thing that you'd ever swallowed. Could have killed you outright, or certainly made you very, very, very ill. But you manage to turn your head as a sort of glob of this hits your face, and just sort of you manage to wipe it away. But in your frantic paddling, covering yourself in this, you have actually managed to get a fair distance towards the steps. Meanwhile, Andy.
So
Small mercies.
I've got to make a roll for swimming.
Well,
So-
not necessarily. You have to take action. There are bodies and eels in the water around you. Things are desperate in general. But there are many things that you could do. You don't have to necessarily swim for it.
Right. Well,
you did want to.
What I was describing before is I'm trying to get out as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So swimming
Sounds
through
good.
the steps. Now,
Yep.
I got given a bonus dice by Smiler.
Yes.
So
So this would be a prowl roll if you're going to swim.
Yep. So I make a prowl check, and sorry, I didn't get anything from Nick's roll, did I?
No, you get a +1 from Ian,
So,
and you could also push yourself and take a devil's bargain.
right. So
I can't think of a devil's bargain, but
I'm going to push myself.
okay. So you
I
take 2 stress,
2 stress.
and you get an extra dice. That gets you up to 3.
Right. So prowl. So how's that? So it's what position? I'm in a desperate position, correct?
You are in a desperate position.
The effect I'm going for is standard,
Yes.
and then I've got 2 bonus dice.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Is a
No
4?
problem.
1-4. Is that a success?
It is a success. You do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer severe harm, a serious complication, or you have a reduced effect. I think as you swim to the other end, pushing your way through the oily water, to your right you can see or sense the boat paddling furiously. Smokey is paddling furiously, stirring up the water. Smiler is bashing the water with a paddle, distracting some of the eels, but there's still enough eels in the water to do you severe harm.
Yep. So
Now you can resist this if you would like. Severe harm would be a level 2 harm, so you'd be on -1 dice rolls.
Right.
What -1 dice for your rolls?
Right.
So yeah, maybe savaged by lots of eels biting at you.
Okay. So how do I? Right. So first of all, how does armor work? Do I do a resistance first? I assume I'm resisting with prowess.
Yes, you would be resisting with prowess, so you could do that, but that might come at the cost of stress.
Okay.
With armor, you can basically just tick armor and reduce the harm level by 1 box. You use this instead of a resistance roll, and you can use multiple ticks at the same time. Armor is restored when you choose load from the next score. So you could tick 2 armor and take no damage. You could tick 1 armor and reduce it to a level 1 harm.
Okay. So it says right. I'm a bit confused of how so I've got armor 2 boxes, and armor and then heavy 3 boxes. But
Yes.
I've also got an armor 1 box to the left of that, sort of not on the gear. But does everyone have 1 armor box for free?
Are you talking under the armor uses?
Yes.
Oh, that I think that that's just a tick if you used your armor up. I don't know if that's.
I don't get you. I'm assuming I don't get a free use of armor.
Because I think the reason I don't think that's an extra free use of armor. I could be wrong on this. Because it could be armor that's given by an ability. Because I know that if I had picked a different special ability, I would have had special armor.
Special armor, yeah.
That I get to use once per job. So it's possible that there's some ability that.
Yeah, I don't
those
know what that
armor-
armor box is, to be honest. I think it's just on your
Okay.
it's
So
just on your
okay.
thing. Let me just check. Oh, okay, fair enough. Nice.
I think you only get to use it. It seems to me like you only get to use armor once. If you want to use it twice, use heavy armor. And the boxes in the load is just a loadout. If you've got heavy armor, it's going to take you three boxes off your load. So if you've gone standards at 5, 3 of those are used up if you want heavy armor.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, but that is on top of the
2 that regular armor. Like if you're running a normal
yes,
load,
that makes
then
sense now.
that's
So
all
basically, you
know.
can use armor, and that costs you 2 load, which you would tick off, or you could use your heavy armor, and you'd have to tick off all 5.
But that would allow me to absorb 2 boxes.
It would, yes. It would completely negate the...
Right, I'm just going to do 2 armor.
Okay, so you can tick off your armor.
Yeah, which I think I've
All right.
done it. Yeah. And then that
Okay,
reduces
so that's going to...
a harm 2 to harm 1.
It does, yeah. So you... what do we think? Lots of either cuts and bruises, or somebody has taken maybe an eel has taken a bite out of your
I've been bitten on the
leg.
arse.
Yes, there we go. Okay. Eel liposuction. Bitten on the arse by an eel.
Still dangling off of him as he gets out of the water.
And with that final spurt, you emerge from the water cascading from you. It's a dramatic shot as you you rush out of the water, climbing the steps, and you can grab the spark pike as you go, ready to take your revenge on those eels.
The Smiley goes, Sand, you got a tail.
Well, I will rip that off and throw it into the water, and then grab this thing, and then very viciously, in quite a bad temper, start plunging it into the water at any eel I can come across.
All right, you strike an eel. It kind of is hit by the spark pike. It starts to sort of jerk and thrash in the water as it's electrocuted.
You can see its skeleton for a brief moment.
Yes. Yes. Electroplasmic sparks rippling through its body as it's electrocuted. Does it make you feel better?
Does that require a dice roll, or is it just...
No. That's just narrative effect. All right.
Is this where he flashes back to when he packed a cushion to bring with him his loadout? So when he sits down, it doesn't hurt anymore.
I ran a game set in 1800s, and a running theme became bum ointment. Somebody pulled some out at one point in a similar kind of situation and kind of solved the problem. But gradually, this bum ointment became a sort of potion of healing, kind of salve-all for every particular ailment that cropped up in the group. A running theme.
The mystical, magical, all-purpose bum ointment.
Yes. It's a powerful, powerful magic that's contained in said ointment. All right, it is 10 o'clock. The excitement. Okay, so you have a moment to take stock of your situation, take a breather.
I very quickly pull my boots off, empty the water out of them, and then put them back on. So I'm not sloshing around with... my character is wearing knee-length boots, which are obviously now full of water.
Full of water, yeah.
Is this done with a certain disgruntlement, or just a certain resignation? Or?
Oh, disgruntlement. I'm really pissed off because I maybe not quite as badly as Smokey, but I think sand also stinks of rotten fish.
Yes. Although to be
Uh,
fair, you have
Washed.
It seems your
washed in the
predictions were
process.
correct. This was more like the trash compactor scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get yanked under the water.
Is that a good place to leave it, Bruce? Or do you want to?
It can do. We've got the door and then the entry into the kitchens itself. We could take it to a cliffhanger if you like, or just leave it there.
I think better leave it there because we should hope to have Chris next time.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
do that.
And then he
No
can
problem
roll
at all.
badly as well.
Yeah, he can roll just as badly as everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Should we say goodbye to anyone who's watching this then? And there will be another episode at some point soon.
All
Thanks
right.
a moment.
All right.
Bye all.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.